Hello, and welcome to Body Language by Embody You. I'm Annette Lane, and I'm so glad you're here. This show is where we take a step back from the shoulds and the should nots of social media and really learn what your body is saying and how to speak its language. We're going to dive into topics like gut health, birth control, cycle health, and give you real-world, honest examples of what these actually might mean to you. My goal is to create a space that you can come back to whenever you need a reset or just don't know how to go forward. New episodes will be released weekly, and I cannot wait to take you along with this journey. Let's get started. Today's episode is for you if you scroll Instagram and you're like, I'm not good enough. I'm comparing myself to everyone else on the internet. If you're jumping from plan to plan because what worked for someone else is not working for you. If maybe you feel motivated one day and completely discouraged the next. Or if you're constantly wondering, is what I'm doing even right? Am I second guessing my workouts, my nutrition, my health? What even is the answer? Today, I'm going to give you real tangible advice of what you should actually listen to, how to determine what's best for your body, and how to stop comparing yourself to everyone else around you. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that comparison brings you away from your highest self. So when you start comparing yourself to other people, you're seeking external validation, which basically means it comes from something outside of you to make you feel validated, where you're like, okay, I need someone else to tell me that I'm good enough, that I'm pretty enough, that I'm doing enough. And you keep trying to prove. And this is something that can come from so many different places, maybe from your childhood or from a past relationship that you've had that made you feel like you had to prove yourself to be good enough for it. There's so many different ways that this can show up for you, but it's super important to know that when you start feeling like you are disconnected from your higher self, then you start overriding the things that your body's trying to tell you. So you're not in line with your intuition and you're like, I don't even know when I'm hungry. I don't know when I should rest or when I shouldn't rest. You start to get confused on what actually works, what doesn't. And that's why consistency feels really impossible, because the second that you start doing something, you're like, wait, now I just scrolled and I saw this new trend. Is that actually what I should be doing? Or, oh my gosh, I heard that weightlifting is actually going to make me bulky, so I probably shouldn't do this. I should stick to cardio, right? And you start to second guess yourself. And that's why you don't stay consistent. And especially when you're not seeing results within a week or 2 weeks, you're like, all right, this isn't working. I'm going to start over. I'm going to find something else that might actually work. And we keep going on and off and trying these different things that keep leaving us with the same result. And that's being frustrated and feeling like we're further from our goal. Trust me, I see this all the time. And so many women, and this was me for the first 4 years of my wellness journey. It was I was following what I eat in a day by all my favorite influencers. I was like, okay, best, booty building workout, best arm toning workout. And I kept following other people's things. And I was like, all right, I'm not getting any results. We've had so many girls come to our program that are doing that same thing. Maybe they're following a fitness app or they're doing group workouts and they haven't actually had a plan made for themselves. It happens all the time. Kaden, one of our clients, she came post collegiate sports and she was like, I was always training for a performance goal. I was training to get stronger and I never really trained in a way that was meant to make me feel good. It was more about how much weight I could move, how fast I could get. It wasn't how comfortable I felt in my skin. And we finally made her a plan that was made for her. And she was like, oh, that's all this was. I just needed a plan in order to stay consistent. And that plan needs to be something that makes me feel aligned. It doesn't matter what someone else is doing. It doesn't matter what I saw this latest and greatest trend said to do. This is actually just for my body. And once you start doing that, you find that intuition. And I mean, this is called body language for a reason. I want every single woman to know how to speak your body's language and understand what is it telling me when, I am super tired and I feel like I need to rest. Is this grace or is this my intuition? Is this excuses? And we start to second guess. That is the thing that keeps you the most stuck, is when you don't know that what you're doing is going to give you your desired result. So in our program, we literally tell all the girls, we're like, hey, if you do this, scientifically, you're going to get results. There's a guarantee that if you stick to this plan, you will see change. And if you don't, well, we've got another problem on our hands and we'll take care of that too. We're not just going to leave you high and dry. So they know that, hey, if I keep doing this and I keep showing up even when I don't want to, I'm going to get results. So I'm going to keep doing it. And they are getting results. And that makes you hungry for more, right? You keep doing it. Versus if you're doing something, you're not even sure if it's working, you're not even sure if it's right, it's very easy to talk yourself out of it. It's very easy to be like, well, why even go to the gym today if I don't even know if this is going to change my body, right? And nothing's going to happen if I don't go today, so might as well not go. Instead, you're like, okay, I'm working towards this specific goal. I know these are the steps I need to take to get there. And you actually take them. And honestly, working in this space and in this profession, it's so easy for me to get caught up in comparison. Not only physically, I'm like, oh, that trainer has a bigger butt or has abs or, has whatever that I wish I had. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is Embody You not good enough? Are we not successful enough? Am I not doing this? Am I not doing that? And social media especially is so hard for comparison because we all know it's a highlight reel. People only post what is their best stuff, right? They don't post the nitty gritty. They don't post like when they're down in the dumps, right? They're posting when they're hitting their record months or when they're succeeding or when they, are hitting their goals, and they don't just like share real life, which obviously there are creators that do that. And I thoroughly appreciate it because it makes you feel less alone. But I've been struggling with this because something that comparison makes you think is that there's like a secret sauce that you're missing. You're like, well, clearly there's just something I don't know yet that I'm missing to be successful. And I was talking to one of my mentors recently, and he was like, Annette, you're not missing a secret sauce. Like, you have everything you need to be successful personally, professionally, in so many different aspects. And I'm like, Sam, what am I missing? Like, is there something I'm not doing that I could be doing for our girls, right? Is there something that could be better for the program, whatever? And he was like, Annette, no, like all of these things that you see outside of you, all of these empty promises on the internet or, hey, buy this, sign up for that, I'll teach you this, is just trying to sell you this idea that they have something that you don't. When in reality, you have everything you need to be successful already in you. Same thing goes for your wellness. When you think that, oh, this influencer has this secret, fat loss burning pill or in whatever it might be, you start to think, oh my gosh, if I was just doing that, I would have my results. When in reality, you already have them. You have them within you. You have everything within you to be able to get there. It's all about just knowing what that looks like for you, creating a custom plan that works for you and your body, not just, oh my gosh, there's this one thing that I'm missing. I know if I just understand this one thing or hear this secret about health, it's not a secret, right? There's so many ways you can learn about it. There's so many things out there and so much information. It's not a secret, right? Strength train, get your steps in, get your water and get good recovery, eat enough food, right? Track your food. Like if we can tell you to do that, you will see results, right? But we think that there's something crazy outside of us that we need to be doing to get this ideal outcome. And it's totally not true. It's just fear mongering and it's sales and it's like everything driven by a benefit for that person versus like, hey, I want to help you. I want to give you the tools to success so that you can ultimately do this by yourself. That's what we do with all of our girls. My favorite thing to watch is when girls graduate our program or are done working with us and they're like, I've got it, Annette. I can do it by myself. Shannon, if you're watching this, you're like my tried and true girl that I bring up every time I talk about someone's success post Embody You. She learned everything she needed to be in charge of her health, her training, her nutrition. Like she came in not knowing anything. And she was like, I'm ready to work. I'm willing to do it. And now she's at a spot where she doesn't need to be convinced anyway. She doesn't need to be sold on anything. She just knows like, I know how to take care of myself. I know how to work out and how to eat for my goals. I know there's no secret sauce that I'm missing. I know everything I need to know. When I get lost or when I get off track, I just have to go back to the basics. We tell our girls that all the time. And I have to tell myself that. I'm like, if I'm feeling super anxious or out of routine or just overwhelmed, I'm like, okay, Annette, well, then what are the things you're not doing that you know you should be doing to feel better? And I can guarantee you there's things that I wasn't doing that I should have been that were causing me to feel that way. I didn't need another big fix, right? I didn't need something additional to my routine. I just needed to go back. Super important. When you don't know how to go forward, go back. That's something that I really want you to take with you because when you start to learn that, you stop just chasing and thinking you need another thing on top of what you're already doing and you just go back to what you know and what works. And if you're struggling with consistency and you're like, I can't stay consistent, well, it's because you don't trust yourself, right? If you trusted yourself, you wouldn't look for other people's routines or opinions, right? This is something that I worked so hard on in the last couple of years is the idea that I own my own worth. And it's something that takes a lot of practice, but I felt like I was showing up to any relationship, whether it be romantic, a friendship, my siblings, my parents, whatever it was. And I was like, here, let me prove myself. Let me show you that I'm worthy of your love, your affection. And if it didn't work out, if someone didn't want to be with me or didn't want to be my friend, I'm like, what's wrong with me? I'm not worthy of love. I'm not worthy of a healthy relationship, all of those things. And I took the blame, right? And I started to think it was my fault that someone else couldn't see that. And when I flipped the narrative and I was like, no, I know I'm innately worthy. I trust myself. I'm not comparing myself to like, oh, this girl that's so much prettier than me, he could have her. So why would he want me? It's such a toxic environment to live in with your own self. Like it's so hard to be happy, to be consistent, to be confident in what you're doing if you don't trust yourself. If you're like, I'm going to do this, but part of me is like, is this even going to work? Part of me is like, Annette, you should be doing this. Or, why are you even doing that? Someone else is going to do it better. You don't stay consistent. It's no surprise that you're struggling with that. And so making sure you learn, okay, I'm going to trust myself. I know what I'm doing. Then you start to be like, whoa, this whole time I was bringing things to the table. I just didn't even realize them. The way I was looking at everyone else, like, wow, I love how she's so funny and she's so caring and she's so this. I didn't look at myself like that. I was like, let me pick apart this, and this. And I need a nose job and I want to, slim my waist and all of these things. And it was like, I don't look at my best friend and think that, right? And so we put so much of our worth in the palm of other people's hands. And we're like, hey, define this for me. Tell me how great I am. And if you don't see that, then I must not be worthy. And how this can show up in your wellness journey is like giving up too early. And you're like, which is always waiting for the better plan. You're waiting for something to come along to make, to give you a different answer than you already have. Or you're mistaking discomfort as failure. Like if it's uncomfortable, that's good. It should be, because that means you're growing and you're getting better. I've said it before, but when you're comfortable, nothing's happening, right? But when you step into discomfort and you're like, this is overwhelming, or this is a lot, or I'm doing something different, you're going to get something different. That's really exciting. So if you're abandoning your progress too early and you're like, I'm not seeing results, I'm going to jump and jump and jump, that's just a sign that you are struggling with comparison and you are looking to places outside of yourself for that validation, when in reality, it's yours. You have it. You just have to figure out what plan actually works for you. You know what, the thing on social media when it's like everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, I definitely don't agree with that. We don't have the same 24 hours. We all have different things going on. We have different obligations. I think of my sister, and she has a 2.5-year-old daughter. And I'm like, I don't have the same 24 hours as she does, right? We have very different times. So comparing yourself with someone else's pace is only going to lead you to feel burnt out, because you're never going to equate to them, right? They have a completely different life with completely different goals, with a completely different upbringing and mindset about everything, which is why you fall into this trap of like doing more and more, continuing to add things and seeing less and less progress. Something that's really changed for me recently is when I stopped genuinely trying to do the most, I've been seeing the most progress. I've given my body permission to rest when it needs it. I've given my body permission to slow down or to stretch or to take a break, to put my phone away. Like I've given my body the permission to not always feel like I need to go. And I think that's also a comparison thing when you feel like, well, I know this other person's, doing a billion things in the day and she's so productive. Why can't I be like that? And we think we have to do exactly what everyone else is doing. And that's just completely not the case. You have your own best self, and that's different than my best self. And that's the beautiful thing. We all are different people. We need different things and we operate in different ways, and success looks different for all of us. So the biggest thing is just like remove the pressure. Take the pressure off yourself to be so perfect or have it all figured out or put yourself in one singular box. I mean, that's my New Year's resolution, or just something I'm trying to work on with myself, is to stop putting myself in a box. I'm like, okay, Annette, if you're a fitness coach, if you're a wellness girl, right, and you care about your health, you can't do this, you can't do that, you shouldn't do this, you have to do this, right? And I put myself in a box and I'm like, okay, I have to lock in, I have to be so perfect, I can only be this wellness girl. And it's like, no. I can be a wellness girl. I can care about my health, and I can still be the first one on the dance floor, and I can still be the one who's ready to go grab drinks at the drop of a hat. And I can still be the one that, sets boundaries and puts her phone away at a certain time, or the one who wants to make homemade pizza because that's so fun. Like there's a million different people you can be, and that's the fun of it. There's so many different parts of you that are so amazing that you get to be. You don't have to be one thing. You don't have to put yourself in a box or take yourself too seriously. I've been totally working on that too, because I tend to take myself so seriously. I'm like, Annette, you're 23. You don't need to be taking yourself so seriously. And honestly, even when I'm 83, I still don't want to be taking myself so seriously. We literally live on a floating rock in the middle of outer space. We're all just trying to figure it out. It's all of our first time here. And so when you stop taking yourself so seriously and you're like, all right, I'm just going to live. I'm going to do the best that I can. I'm going to be a good friend. I'm going to have goals and be motivated and be a hard worker. Yes, but I'm also going to have fun, and I'm going to be okay with not being perfect and just doing things that make me feel good and spending time with people that I love, because life's so short. It is so short. And we genuinely don't know what's guaranteed. We don't have anything guaranteed, right? And so when you can take yourself out of this serious mindset or this box mindset that we put ourselves in and stop comparing or thinking, I have to be this way to be a wellness girl, to be healthy, you start to live and you take away the pressure, and you're like, there was no rule book all along. Who made it? Who made this like arbitrary rule book that we all keep talking about, that we have to be doing certain things in order to be healthy or in order to be happy? There's no rule book. Like, it's yours. You know what's best for you. So when you follow that, you have that little voice in your gut, or you have that intuition. And when you can lean into it and you're like, I know what it's trying to tell me, you actually live in alignment with your highest self. So when you truly understand that comparison is really what's standing away from you and your goal, and analysis paralysis, right? You're like, there's too many things to think of, too many things to choose from. I'm going to do nothing at all. That's when you start to actually unlock that higher self, that highest potential. You're like, oh my gosh, if I just stepped away from that part of me that's feeling like she's not good enough, or she's never going to reach X goal, or she's never going to be in a healthy relationship or lose the weight or whatever it is, you step away from that part of you, and you're like, okay, you're not running the show today. Like, I know I am worthy. I know I can do it. I know I will lose the weight. All of the things that you want to do, when you tap into that and you're like, I can do it, you stop standing in your own way. You stop comparing. You start to see progress. You start to see change. It wasn't about a lack of discipline, right? It wasn't about a lack of commitment. It was literally just the fact that you didn't even realize subconsciously you were standing in your own way. It was you saying the whole time, well, you're not good enough because she has this, and you could be better because she's doing that. And you start to be like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And we know, we go into that snowball and we're like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. And you give up and you start over and you reset over and over and over again. And at some point you have to ask yourself, when am I really going to find something that I truly align with and take the next leap? 2 episodes ago, we talked about commitment and why that is a really hard thing for us as humans to do, is to commit to things. And we really only can when we trust it and when we trust ourselves. When you want to join a program or you want to join a relationship or anything, you have to trust it, right? You have to have trust that it's going to work. It's going to give you what you want. It's going to be fulfilling and make you happy. But you also have to have trust with yourself. Like, okay, I know I'm putting my best foot forward. I know I want this for my best self. I know I can do it. And you start subconsciously training your mind. Like, I actually don't have to work against myself right now. I can work with myself. And it's such a light feeling to be like, wow, I'm on my own team and I have been this whole time. You feel like you're fighting neck and neck with a part of you that doesn't believe in yourself or whatever it might be. And you think everyone else has it figured out, but they don't. And if they look like they do, they don't. And they're just mimicking someone else, right? None of us have it fully 100% figured out. We're just always collectively working on becoming better. And if you need help and you need support and guidance, it doesn't make you weak. I need it in a million ways. All of us need it in a million ways. It's why we're stronger together. It's why we have each other as humans. And communities are a thing. Like, our Embody You community is, I know anyone could do anything that they wanted with the support of those girls, because they are truly women who want the best for each other. They will support each other no matter what anyone else is going through. They will cheer for each other. It's like, it's something that you realize is really hard to come by. But once you have it, you're like, oh my gosh, all I needed was just a little bit of support, some trust in myself, and a plan that was made for me. And everything took off. So next time you're scrolling on Instagram and you're looking at every girl in her bikini or every girl that's got the clean girl morning routine and you're like, I have 3 empty dishes on the side of my bed. Like, oh my gosh, I'm just getting overwhelmed and honestly a little bit mad because what's wrong with me? And it's annoying. Put your phone down. Put it down. Do not consume content that makes you feel like that. You truly have a choice. So if you follow people that make you feel worse, unfollow them. You don't have to, right? You choose what you consume, and what you consume is who you become. If you consume that content that makes you feel bad, or you consume stuff that makes you second guess yourself, stop, right? Put your phone away. Your answers don't lie in your phone, right? They lie inside. They lie in your heart and in your brain and in your soul. That's where your answers are. It takes a little bit to tap in and find them. But when you do, you're like, I don't even care what this other person's eating in a day because I know what I'm eating in a day, and that's all that matters, right? And so check in with yourself. If you are someone who struggles with comparison, if you find yourself looking for outside things of, what should I do? What should I eat? Why am I not seeing this result or whatever? Ask yourself what you're comparing yourself to. Like, why do they have the upper hand, right? What can you do to actually go inward and go back to the basics and figure out, oh my gosh, what am I just not doing that I know I could be doing to make me feel better? And there's a billion different things that you could be doing. If you're like, I don't know, Annette, I don't even know where I'm at. We've talked about this in all of our episodes so far. I still have the gut health scorecard linked below. If you're like, I don't even know where I'm at, if I'm a beginner, if I'm intermediate, like what's normal, what's not, fill it out. It'll take a couple minutes, not even. And I will give you feedback of what exactly you should do going forward. And in a way, going backwards, right? Going back to the basics, smaller things to focus on so you don't feel so overwhelmed in your journey. So truly understand that comparison really is the thief of joy. The only thing that you're doing by worrying about tomorrow's problems is taking away today's peace. The only thing you're doing by worrying about if the grass is greener on their side is forgetting to water your own. And it's like, no, truly, the grass can be green wherever I am because I'm watering it. I'm doing the things to make exactly where I am today, not tomorrow, not 3 weeks ago. I'm doing the things to make today feel awesome, feel amazing, feel accomplished. Some days aren't that great, right? We brush them off, we keep moving, we keep just going forward, and we don't give up. We don't go back and think we have to start over, right? We put our best foot forward every single time, and we don't look at what everyone else is doing because it doesn't matter. What they're doing has nothing to do with you, with what you should be doing, with your success, with how amazing, how beautiful you are. You are you. There's literally one of one when it comes to you. And that is the most beautiful thing you can start to realize. And then you realize what you bring to the table. You'll start showing up to things knowing, I know what I have to offer. I know what lies inside. If someone else doesn't see that, that's their own narrative. That's their own thing. I'm not going to be a hero in everyone's story. Some people are heroes in mine and heroes in the other, and that's okay. We all have our place and we all fit in beautifully in so many different places. So tap into that. Tap into your best self and only you. And please grab the gut health scorecard, fill it out. It's linked below. Send this to someone you love. As always, there can never be enough good information out there for women, never enough love to go around. And from the teacher in me to the teacher in all of you, thank you so much for being here with me today. I'll see you next week.